What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the Wise Take MLB DFS Wise Stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and I am joined once again by the GOAT, the true OG, that you know as Paulie D. And you can find me on Twitter at Paulie with 8 Ds. Paulie, what's happening?
That's it, man. That's me.
That's you.
I'm the only.
That's you. Bro, we have like a month left. Like, September starts tomorrow. We have like a month left of regular season baseball. That's it.
And like, NFL starts like tomorrow, basically.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. 2
next
weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and we get rolling with the old NFL. I'm excited about NFL, and because we're not going to have a ton of overlap, we're going to be able to spend more time on the NFL. I think we'll be able to have our most in-depth NFL season. I mean, our NFL content's always been solid, but like it's been sort of like to the point. It's been kind of like, and even in the articles, like we write some shit, but it's like, listen, this is the point. But I feel like this year we'll be able to kind of do more analysis and kind of draw things out a little bit more, and also kind of teach others how to find the DFS goodness that we find. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. This slate wasn't so excited about. I was initially when I saw it was 7 games. I was like, hallelujah, holla back. But then we have some weather we have to monitor, and it's like in all the key games, dude. Like the Kansas City game, right? That's a Bieber. We got some weather to monitor. Philly Washington is now the riskiest game, and that was my favorite game for bats. Spoiler alert. And then even the Colorado game at the end of the night has weather to monitor. So it's only 7 games, and like if you take those games out, you're leaving me with some pretty shitty games. So we'll have to see what we get. Any thoughts overall on the baseball slate?
That's it, man. I like Tyler Glass now.
That's the overall thoughts.
That's it. That's overall.
That's it. We'll end the show there.
I like both pitchers in that game, even though it's in a good hitting park. So you said Philly, Washington is a weather concern, Colorado, San Diego, and who's the third? Oh, Kansas City, Cleveland.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. The Coors game got how he updates it around now. He updated the Coors game in a positive way. It went from orange yellow or yellow orange to now just yellow. Kansas City also went from yellow. Like an orange yellow to yellow. But then the Philly game was downgraded to a yellow orange. So I'll tell you what the update was in the Philly game. My most trusted forecast model makes it look like this game plays easy through some spotted drizzle, but radar looks really ugly upstream of Philly. So he's up the risk. So it sounds like, according to his models, his radar system and all that good shit, it should be okay, but there's like a nasty ass stream that's north of it. So if something happens where it shifts down, or if it just misfires and comes over the stadium, then we're fucked, because there is a lot of weather in the in those rainbow things on the radar. Kansas City, Cleveland. Says feeling better here. Storms have already fired and appear to be clearing east. Can't rule out a pop-up delay, but it looks like the heavy stuff will mostly be east by game time. Hitters are very likely fine, and I'd roll SP here too. Not 100% safe, but looks good enough. As far as cores, scattered showers, no real organization, but a chance for a delay or two. Can't even rule out 100%. Can't even 100% rule out a postponement. But there's no way I fade it. So evidently it's good. And the thing is, like, some of these teams canceled games quick. But not for nothing, but the protested games have now added to the sense of urgency of getting these games in. We heard the Mets owner, who was like, it was leaked from Brody, the GM, talked about the owner wanting to, have the game play. And it's not that, I don't think it's because he's racist. Maybe he's ignorant and he doesn't understand what everybody's point is. But regardless, his mind is on the Mets, and like he's really like, how am I going to make up these games? That's like how he's thinking. And like baseball's, because of COVID and everything, they're gonna have to have teams that didn't play the full amount of games, and they're just gonna have to. I heard they're gonna go off win percentage for the playoffs. Like I heard that was how they were gonna kind of roll. So
yeah, that makes sense. Win percentage, like how about you gotta like what do they call that? Pro rate.
Yeah, pro rates at 100%, bro. I mean, we're looking at Cleveland, the Houston team right now. they sat out the most. Them and the A's kept sat out basically every game of the series for the protest, and then they got hit with COVID. They had a positive COVID test, and the games got canceled more. So it's like you have a bunch of teams that have these scenarios. The Mets have been playing doubleheaders every day. It seems like every day they're in a doubleheader, and so like these teams, it's gonna wear down. My point is, I don't think that teams can afford to be so quick. Now I know the Braves did that shady shit with Cole, and they canceled the game and did the doubleheader and whatever, but I don't think teams can really afford to do that all that much. Like, eventually, starting pitching, like, these doubleheaders are going to fuck with your bullpen. It's going to fuck with who's available. It's going to fuck with your starting rotation. It's going to really start to take a damper on teams. Because you got to figure, if you had to use 2 pitchers in one day, that's like pitchers go every 5 days. So now you got 2 pitchers on the same schedule. That's going to fuck you up and, to get through those next 5 days. So, I don't know. I would think that as long as it's not like monsooning and lightning and fucking craziness, I would think teams are going to try to play. But that's just my opinion. Which ain't worth shit when it comes to weather.
Yeah. Well, hopefully stay as we, get closer to the 30.
I mean, I'm probably just gonna fucking play what I want to play, and just roll the dice. And if I lose, I'll just call the Phillies and back office and whoever else canceled, and I'll just bitch and complain and ask for a DraftKings refund. It made me lose my DraftKings teams, bro. You gotta reimburse me. If only it was that easy. So I'm with you on Glass now, by the way. But let's talk about some of the other pitchers. We got Bieber. We got fucking Giolito, who went out there and just just destroyed, no hitter, just dirty elite.
I saw.
Holla at me.
Yeah. I'm not gonna comment on Giolito. I'm just gonna do whatever you say on that one because, I'm too recency biased. I like to attack guys coming off a no-hitter. I don't know if that's like enhanced because I was on the Pirates a day, hit them, and I'm like biased. So my lean is to stack against. The Twins have seen him a lot. They've hit him well. They've got a lot of power, although they haven't shown a ton of it this year, or at least not to the extent of last year. God, his ass. No, I'm a sniper with that. So I'll just, I'll defer to you on that one. But I if we do have Bieber, I'm good with that. And I like Garrett Cole and Tyler Glasnow the most.
Yeah, just to go right to the Giolito thing, I'm not gonna I only had him 30% last time. He was fucking massive chalk when he threw the no-hitter. So I consider myself to be one of the ones who missed out because I didn't have, I was underweight, bottom line. So because of that, I'm not gonna jump on the train now. I agree with you. I don't like taking pitchers off of complete games, let alone no-hitters. He did throw a lot of pitches. I know that Giolito can do that. He's had some good games against the Twins, but he's also had some shitty ones. I'll say this, reserve him for tournaments because he's got the lowest floor, I think, between Bieber, Cole, and what's his name? Bieber and Cole, that's it. So I'll have a little at like 20% or so, but I will also have somewhere between 5 to 10% of Minnesota Twins stacks because I know they'll be very low owned. The only hesitation to like Minnesota more to me is the White Sox bullpen has actually been pretty good so far. They've got one of the lowest xFIPs in 2020. So that was the main reason that kind of had me well, maybe I'll just avoid them. Because I could see a world where because the Twins, let's be honest, they're fucking disappointing right now. They're just not doing what we are expecting them to do, mostly against lefties. But still, in general, like some of the guys are going, right? Cruz is looking good. Kepler's doing his thing. But it seems like it's 1 or 2 guys and Nelson Cruz. Or 1 or 2 guys and then Max Kepler. But yeah, I can agree with you in that I'm not going crazy on Giolito. I prefer Cole and Bieber over Giolito today. And I like Glasnow a lot as well. What about value guys? Are there any guys in the, value land? Because a lot of the bats that I like are expensive. So I'm going to have to figure something out.
Yep. Yeah. How's their lineup? Didn't Eric Fetty get traded or something?
I don't.
Is he still?
No.
Oh, he's in the weather game. He didn't get traded.
No, he didn't get traded.
Everyone else got traded.
Yeah, everyone else got traded.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. The Mets got Todd Frazier again.
I said.
Wonderful. Phenomenal. Yay. We did get Chirinos,
awesome.
though. I do like Chirinos.
Traded away a good player. I don't know. But yeah, the Mets they consistently do
Mets
the
things.
dirty like that.
That's it.
Who's pitching for the Brewers? Suter?
Yeah, Suter. It was gonna be Lauer, and I did like the Pirates if that was the case, but they did switch it to Suter because Lauer's just been fucking awful.
Yeah. How's Milwaukee's lineup look? Yours, Yelich.
I think I know where you're going, and that's the only place that I landed on. Shit, I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I do not like it at all.
I don't like it either.
Shit.
I don't like that either.
We got Jace Peterson in his lineup though. Shit.
Yeah.
Ben Gamel's the number 5 hitter. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one, but it ain't safe. There's a couple scary spots in it too.
100%,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Marquez, bro, we're gonna have to get the expensive bats. I don't see a way to do this, Mike.
He's the only way. He's the only way I saw. Unless you go the other route. Now, here's the other thing. We're talking about Trevor Williams for anybody who's not keeping up, right? So Trevor Williams is 6K on DraftKings, and on FanDuel you don't have to be in this dirty territory, right? You can figure out ways to spend up on pitching and still get what you want. On DraftKings, you have an SP2 you have to figure out. So I think looking at the Brewers' pricing, they are one of the cheapest teams on the slate, so I feel like either they're going to break the slate and they'll be the winner with like a Cole and a Glasnow combination, a couple mixed in with a couple of like studs like from the Coors game or whatever, the Nationals Philly game, but they're cheap enough to allow you to not have to suck the dirty. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you kind of need a guy like Williams, and at least in some teams, to be able to afford the other dirty doers that you may want ideally.
Right. I could pitch Marquez, but I mean that's 1,800 more. You know what I mean?
I guess a Marquez not Paddock. A Marquez a Glasnow probably isn't too bad. You could probably make some things work with that.
Yeah. Money wise, yeah.
Yeah, you could probably make some things work.
Like Rich Hill against the White Sox, I don't like taking lefties against the White Sox at all, but Hill is like, he's a different kind of lefty. He throws like 88 miles per hour and like 50% curveballs. Let's do a quick sneak at that. I mean, no one's looking to pitch Rich Hill, and he's, usually like hyper efficient when he's on.
The problem with Rich Hill is right now he's got a 15.7% strikeout rate. He's got a 5.5% swinging strike rate. He's just not striking dudes out. Now, if there was ever a team to do it, it could be the White Sox. It's just that the particular lineup the White Sox put out is really not strikeout heavy at all. We've only got 4 guys that are 20% or higher, and one of them is Abreu, who's right at 20%. And then if you look at the profile of the curveball, it's a small sample, but it does look like a few, like Jimenez, Abreu, E5, like guy. It's not pretty. It's not necessarily phenomenal for the bats either, but I just couldn't do it. I considered it.
Listen, he's only faced 50 batters this year. I mean, that's an extremely small sample.
Yes.
Like, if you look at last year, he had like a 11% swinging strike rate, a 27% K rate.
Agreed.
27 to righties. But you said I'm looking at the profile now. Righties hit the shit out of his fastball, which is 90 miles per hour. Most people are going to hit that well.
His most recent game was actually pretty good. It was against Cleveland, who was one of the tougher teams to strike out. He had 5 Ks in 5 innings. One earned. Wasn't bad.
I think, with mass multi-entry, just like we talked about with the Pirates and the Pirates pitcher in Milwaukee, I think he kind of works that way too. If you don't have a White Sox stack, you could put him in there.
I don't disagree because I don't have very many substitutes. I mean, I'm sitting here preaching about Trevor Williams, bro. So who am I to tell you that Rich Hill is not an option? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like the only reason that Trevor Williams is the one I'm willing to roll the dice on is because it's Milwaukee, and they've just been. I mean, that fucking rookie fuck who has been terrible went out there and just destroyed them the other day. Yeah. Brew Baker, the Baker.
Yeah,
But I'm with you. It's ugly, bro. My pitching pool is toyed. And the issue is, again, like normally on a site like this, it's like, oh, good. I happen to like the cheap bats. I don't today. The bats I like are a little bit more expensive. Now, I do think there is a world, because, like, the Rays and all these teams are going to be low owned. There is a world where it's either the Twins or somebody that blows up on one of these, like, high-priced pitchers and nobody's playing them and all that shit. It's just kind of a guessing game as to who's who. Like Garrett Cole gave up fucking 5 earned runs in his last start. He still got 9 hitters, so he still put up a 15 on DraftKings. But he gave up 5 runs to the Braves. So it's like the Rays, who just went ape shit on the Marlins, are they going to be the team? Because they're cheap. You could play Glasnow, fucking Bieber with them and have no problem. But you're picking on Garrett Cole. It's tricky, man. It's a small slate, so I know you got to get a little dirty. Small slates is when you got to take a little more risk. Get a little dirty. And I'm not taking a ton of them right now. I'm really not. Trevor Williams is probably the riskiest I get right now. What about the bats?
Yeah. I do like Minnesota against Giolito. I like the Rockies against Garrett Richards. If we can use bats in Washington, I'm cool with the Nationals bats against Spencer Howard. And I get the feeling you're going to need either the Pirates or the Milwaukee cheap bats to make any of this shit really work. Like, I envision myself doing a lot of Glasnow Cole, Glasnow Fried, Glasnow Hill, those kind of combos, maybe Marquez. And then if I want to put the Rockies in, I'm going to need, like, the cheap Pirates to make that work, or, like, the bottom of the Braves lineup or something along those lines.
Yeah, I agree. I think the route that I was going was more like the bottom of the Nationals lineup, the bottom of the Phillies lineup. You got, like, Luis Garcia, Eric Thames is only 3,500, Yan Gomes is 27. And these are not players that I particularly like, but they're in a game with a massive run total, and pitchers that are terrible. I mean, Eric Fede, fucking awful. Spencer Howard, been terrible. So I agree with you in that if you want to get, even if you have like a mid-tier value pitching, you're still gonna have to get some dirty guys in there. You're still gonna have to find some, So whether it be from the Pirates, from the Milwaukee Bucks, or whatever, I found myself like Jay Bruce is 2,800 on DraftKings. I'll probably have a shit ton of Jay Bruce, because I'm just gonna need someone that cheap and dirty and filthy.
I need that, man.
Plantar fasciitis or not, we need it.
Right. The Rockies lineup's not out yet, is it? But if it does, and Sam Hilliard's in it, 2,700 at home versus a righty, less giggity.
Yep. Agreed.
Bobby Dalbec is in the Boston lineup. This dude homered in his first game up the other day. Min price. Jose Ozuna, batting 8th against a lefty. He does have some pop. Min price, third base and outfield eligible. Alex Gordon, min price against Bieber, if that game does in fact play. You mentioned Jay Bruce, that's there. If the Indians games plays, Tyler Naquin's been pretty hot lately. He's 2,600. So there is value depending, on how many we get. Daniel Murphy's 3.8 if he cracks that Rockies lineup against Richards. Who else? Austin Riley is batting 5th. He's 3.2, a power hitter in Boston against Colton Brewer, a scrub pitcher for the Red Sox. I like that. Michael Taylor, min price. So there's plenty of these dudes for cheap to kind of just, 5, 1, 2. The one is like a min price punt to just make it all work.
I mean, yeah. Speaking of which, you have the. It's against Max Fried, who I don't love picking on, but that Bobby Dalbec, the prospect for the Red Sox, 2K. He's literally free. He just hit a home run in his debut yesterday.
Just said that.
Holla for $1. Need that money for tomorrow. So nice we said it twice. You feel? It's on. It's on.
It's on.
What other stacks, bro? That's it?
That's fine. I mean, that's it. I like the Rockies. I like Minnesota. I like Atlanta.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna use Pittsburgh and Milwaukee and those one-off value plays to make it work.
Get the dirties in. I feel you. I'm a little more like obvious, I guess, today, and I hate that on this kind of slate. I really like the Washington Philly game, and I'm really, but that's why I was so bummed. Like once I saw the weather come for that, because initially the weather wasn't even on that game, it wasn't on the list that game, and I was like, this is all gravy, I'm just gonna fuck everybody else and I'll just do this, and then all of a sudden it popped up. But that's my favorite game. I think that decent park. The Nationals have been hitting pretty well. They put up a lot of runs against Boston. Philly strikes out less than anyone in the league, and Eric Fede, I think, strikes out the least amount of people in the league. He's got like a 5% strikeout rate right now. So I like that one. I'm going to get some Coors exposure. I do prefer the Rockies as well. I'm curious to see what the Padres lineup look like, man. They made a lot of moves today. So keep an eye. That's an interesting note from Marquez. I'm seeing projected lineups with Mitch Moreland in the lineup, but we don't necessarily know that the guys they traded for are going to be available today. So you don't know. You might see something real dirty.
Probably.
What happened?
Most like, although Mitch Moreland isn't their projected lineup, but how?
Yeah, how?
He was, where'd they put?
I mean, I'm seeing Nola in a projected lineup too. And like you said, it's like how? Like these guys weren't even here. You know what I mean? I mean, if Nola is in the lineup, you literally can't play him because DraftKings didn't put him in the player pool because he plays for Seattle. So you won't even find him. But I agree. The trade just went down today. Like, don't they have to get like a physical done? Probably a COVID test and then get flown out to San Diego because wherever the fuck they were just in Boston. They're going to fly and he's going to play right away? I don't know.
That's like a 7-hour flight. It's just not going to happen.
So depending on what we see, because they don't have Ty France anymore either. Not that he was great. But I don't know. We'll have to see what this lineup looks like by the time it comes out. But yeah, Coors would be my next stop after the Philly game. And I actually do like the White Sox bats. I mean, I'm just going to play them every day against a lefty. Good or bad, I don't care. I'm just going to play them against lefties.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, I would have, if I was playing a lot of lineups, I'd have both sides. Of course. I'm building 3, and I don't think the White Sox bats make my 3. I don't love that, but
you know what's a weird spot is the Cleveland game. Cleveland bats, like they went off a couple times recently, right? Did a lot of nothing in between, but then they're playing Brad Keller, who, if we don't want to pick on Brad Keller, then shouldn't we consider pitching him? Because he's the one that can go out there and get an 18-19 at 6'9". Like I don't like picking on the Indians. I don't like pitching Brad Keller. But if that's the case, then should I be higher on the Indians? You know what I'm saying?
No. But it's weather permitting. Yeah. It's actually the favorable lineup they put out there for him. Like, Luplow, why is he out there today? It's not a lefty.
Yeah, sucking it hard and long. Yeah, Delino to Shields, too?
Yeah, they traded Allen. He was in that Clevenger trade, so he's no longer there. Right.
The dickhead always wins, bro. He wins in this. He goes to California where he never wanted to leave when he was with the Angels farm system. There was a whole little mini doc he did on YouTube, and he was bummed when he got traded. And then he ends up going to like the Padres, who happen to be, short season or not, whatever you want to say, they're one of the best offenses in the game right now. Like if you look at statistically, they're in the top 5 versus lefties and righties. They're just really good right now. Fucking mother, like this. Hey, dickheads always win. What can you say? It's his life. But I do agree with you. So maybe Brad Keller's the one we add to the pool a little bit. For those that are doing the Buck Fitties or whatever. You know what I mean? Buck Fitty, Big Titty, Screenshot Life. Because like you said, man, once you get through, if you can get through Fran Millie the GOAT, like the bottom 4, it's not that bad. Tyler Naquin, Luplow, Perez, Delino DeShields against a right-handed pitcher, it's like, it's not bad. You do got to get through. Lindor's been a beast, and Fran Millie the GOAT has been a monster. You gotta be careful with that.
True that.
Anyway, we'll do some Dong Watch Nation. If you want to get some questions in there, get some questions in there, and we'll answer some questions on the YouTube line. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Paulie D, top. Let's do some homers, home runs.
Nelson Cruz.
Crudy. I'll go with Jay Bruce. Plantar fasciitis. Let's go.
Trevor Story.
I'll go with Luis Robert of the White Sox.
Give me Jose Osuna.
Jose Osuna.
Min Price. Let's get
Jose I'll go with Bryce Harper. I'll take one of the fat boppers. I'll go with Bryce.
He's actually been hitting really well this year, and they're like rarely on the slates. No one really knows about it, but he's I think he's like top 5 in the National League in batting average. I think he's got almost 10 homers. Like he's back.
It seemed like he started playing well right around the time that I started saying he was overrated. It was right around that time. Yeah, so I'm gonna take some credit here for any Bryce Harper fans for propelling his career. I had an experience. I went to a Met game. My father was the vet of the game at Citi Field. Went to the Met game, so we're sitting right there, like right by the Nationals dugout. The Nationals were visiting the Mets, and Bryce Harper comes on the on-deck circle. And any normal-minded human being would have been like, "Yo, Bryce, my man," like try to get cool with the guy. And then my dumbass is telling him how much he sucks, telling him "fuck you." And all this, and then he never came by the on deck circle again after that. And I felt like my own dad, who was like a bigger Met fan than me, looked at me and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then I felt like a true dick. I was like, I'm the dick. I was just like, yeah, I get it, I'm the dick.
Like
exactly. Like, yeah, I'm sure he'll love to come to the Mets after I fucking destroy him. All right, let's get into the chat. MG says, "Teach, you know it." MG doing dirties. Tony A says, "Rain in Philly." Yep. David Torrey, Jags did the dirty to Fournette. They did, man. They did do the dirty to Fournette.
They did. And the word on the street is the Jets are going to get him and cut Bell. And it's like,
no fucking way. There's no fucking way. The Jets are not going to cut Bell for him. I'm not saying they wouldn't cut Bell. They've done some pretty dumb things in their life. But I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to add him. I mean, they tried to get Balaj, and it didn't work because of the physical. I can see the Jets being like, we're going to have 3 fucking running backs, and we're just going to fucking, whoever plays best is going to play. And they also, I could see it. Yeah. Tony A, White Sox pitcher only 9% on DK. Yeah, it'll probably be low owned. Moreland and Nola maybe in Padres lineup tonight to do the dirty. Possibly, Tony, possibly, but we don't know. Our boy Aaron, thoughts on Max Fried and a Jip Hippe? You like Fried?
Yeah, I do. I mean, this Red Sox lineup's pretty scary outside, in a bad way. Outside of Bogarts, maybe Devers. Even I don't really love him lefty on lefty, but no JD, Bobby Boucher in there, Jackie Bradley against the lefty hasn't hit any balls this year. Jay Arraz, Jose Perez. It's a fucking awful lineup. I like Fried quite a bit because he's not pricey like Bieber or something like that. He's
like 9-some,
9.2. So he works with Blast now, and you're only at 18K. You can make that work. You throw 1 min price punt, you can do what you want. So yeah, I do like him quite a bit.
Dirty burgers.
I'm kind of bummed that there's weather in Cleveland because I want Bieber out there for everyone to go get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though I think he does well, but I don't think he outdoes these guys point per dollar.
Is this the Barber Mosaic? Is that Mo? Please tell me that's Mo. We haven't seen Mo in a minute. Is it Mo?
Yo, Mo had a realistic sweat in the donkey. He was winning like 100K, like, I don't know, 75% of the slate. It was a Brewers super low owned the day that, they did the dirt. Like, Iorco homered for him, Avi homered for him. And then, like, some late game just went off and passed. I thought he was going to win. I was like, yo, up there doing it. Doing the thug nasty,
man.
But no.
Oh, is it, man? Good to see him. We haven't seen him in a minute, man. He popped in here, says he has a ton of Keller, and then he said Paulie.
He's out there giving premium haircuts in like South Carolina, I believe.
He's doing dirties on the hair,
Yeah. And that's a service that's needed desperately these days.
I've been told that I'm pretty desirable to barbers. I've been told many a barber would love to get their hands on me. I've been told that. Numerous times. By men with short hair. Shout out to Moto, man. Good to see you. Hope all is well with you during the pandemic and everything. Hope you're staying safe with your family. Good to see you popping. Yeah, great. He says it's me. Awesome. It is him, man. Good to see you, Mo. Hope you're doing well. Always a pleasure, man. Mo, we go back with Mo, especially Paulie. We go back with Mo. Back when the Nation was first coming up, man. He was one of the first dudes you brought on the show. A lot of good times, man. Good people. Definitely one of the good ones.
I listened to his podcast before we even had one.
There you go.
Like he was one of the pioneers out there. You know,
absolutely. He was out there doing dirties on Facebook before people knew how to do dirties on Facebook.
You knew the dirty was a thing that could be done. I know.
That's it. There you go. All right. With that said, we're gonna get out of here, nation. Make sure everybody stays safe. Do the dirty tonight. Have some fun. We have a 2-game NBA slate. If you want to get down that way, we've got projections and cheat sheets up at wisestake.com. Book your ticket to Screenshot City. And Paulie, anything closing before we get up out of here?
Pitch Tyler Glass now.
There you go. I think that was that. You know what? I think that was the theme of the show. That was a clear message.
It's my squad. These things. Trust me. Use Glass now.
Let's go.
He's gonna strike out a million.
Let's go. For Paulie D, for myself, the entire White Stick Nation. As always, good luck.
40.